Hello, all. Let me begin today's episode with a small situation that most of us recognize. Imagine a little girl coming home from school feeling upset because someone interrupted or bullied her in the class. She wants to explain what happened to her mom, but before she can finish, her brother starts talking something to her mom, and mom says, don't overreact, just ignore your incident and gives full concentration to that particular boy. Now, in another household, a little boy had fallen down while playing and starts to cry. He rushes back home crying, and immediately mom says, come on, boys, don't cry. Two children, two completely different messages. One child learns to silence her voice, whereas the other boy learns to hide his emotions. And without realizing it, many of us grow up carrying these invisible emotional rules, which we in fact pass on to our children as well. So, today we are going to talk about something very important in modern parenting, raising emotionally strong daughters as well as emotionally secure sons. Because emotionally healthy parenting is not just about raising successful children, it's about raising emotionally balanced human beings. Hello, friends. Welcome back to Simplified Parenting with Suhasini. And I'm your host, Suhasini, a child psychologist and a fellow parent like you all on this beautiful journey called parenting, where I try to simplify it with my psychology experience and working as a parenting coach for teens and parents. On this particular podcast platform, we explore the practical ways to raise emotionally healthy and confident children. This topic is most suited for today's episode because yesterday we celebrated Women's Day and we all talked about how strong the woman should be, how we raise strong girls. But nobody is talking about how we should raise emotionally secure sons as well. And that is the reason why today's topic is more important. Even though parenting styles are evolving, many subtle messages about gender still influence how children grow emotionally. For example, daughters are often encouraged to be polite, helpful, responsible, accommodating, at least after the marriage, if not before the marriage. These are wonderful qualities, nobody denies them. But sometimes girls also receive another message: don't be too loud, don't argue too much, don't create conflict. This leads to patterns like people pleasing, difficulty in saying no, self doubt about their own skills and opinions. On the other hand, sons often grow up hearing messages like boys don't cry, be tough, don't be weak, don't cry like a girl, or man up. These may sound small in childhood, but they often teach boys to suppress emotions like sadness, fear, vulnerability, and they move towards toxic behaviors. And when the emotions are suppressed, they don't disappear. They simply show up in some other forms, sometimes as anger, frustration, emotional withdrawal. When girls suppress their voice and boys suppress their feelings, both grow up with emotional limitations. But as parents, we have the opportunity to change their story, isn't it? When we say we want our daughters to be strong, we often think about independence, education, career success. But in all this process, we don't talk about emotional strength, the courage to say no when it's really required, because we don't teach them the emotional strength, because as daughters need permission to express all emotions. Many girls are praised for being nice and well behaved, but emotional strength also includes the ability to express disagreement, frustration, anger, fighting for what is really due for her respectfully. Imagine the simple situation at home: a girl comes home, says that a classmate took her stationery without asking, then immediately her parent says, oh, it's okay, ignore it. Child may learn to avoid confrontation, but if the parent instead says, that must have felt uncomfortable for you, isn't it? What do you think you could say next time? Now the child starts learning about the boundaries, assertiveness. And these are the actually essential skills for emotionally strong women. Daughters also need encouragement to take risks. Many girls are subconsciously taught to play safe. All you hear parents always say things like be careful, don't try something really difficult, don't climb too high, and the response which the parents give is today's society is like that. We need to take care of our own daughters, but for that you cannot keep your daughter only at home, right? Safety is important, but overprotection can sometimes reduce their confidence as well. Confidence grows only when children try things that challenge them. It could be raising their hand in the classroom, trying out for a sports team, participating in debates, taking leadership roles in the school, etc., etc. With each and every experience of this, you're sending a powerful message to your child, and your child learns that my voice matters too. And the most important aspect, which daughters, especially the girls of this generation, think is that they are valued more because of their appearance and when compared to their performance. Many girls grow up receiving praises like, "Hey, you look like a princess. How is my darling princess doing? Look how well she's doing. She's very delicate, darling." These are all not required. Emotional confidence grows when children are appreciated for the qualities like their curiosity, effort, creativity, and courage, not specifically only for their beauty or the body shapes. For example, instead of saying, "You look so pretty today," you can also say, "I really liked how hard you tried to make this painting. I really liked how hard you kept trying even when the problem was difficult." This shifts the focus from external validation to inner confidence. So, before we move ahead, let me pause for a moment and ask you something very important. If your child walked up to you right now and said, "I feel upset," do you think they're really feeling completely safe finishing that sentence in front of you? Or will they really worry about being getting judged, corrected, and told to simply move on? Because emotional strength in children does not begin in schools, activities, or achievements. It begins in the emotional safety at our home. What is the emotional safety net that we are providing to our children is more important when we think about the emotional world for our sons. Now, let us talk about the sons. Many parents want their sons to grow up strong, capable, well built, and all that stuff. But emotional security is also very important because first, boys need to understand different emotions which they can experience. They need to have that emotional vocabulary. Children cannot express emotions if they don't have words for them. Instead of labeling every difficult emotion as anger, boys should learn to identify their feelings like disappointment, embarrassment, worry, or frustration. Imagine a boy who lost an important cricket match after practicing for weeks, and the parents say, "Stop crying. You just that was just a practice match. You don't have to worry." Then the child automatically learns to hide their emotions. But if the parent says, "I can see you're disappointed after working so hard. It might be really hurting you. But let us work out a better way to win the next match." The child learns something powerful, that emotions are normal and acceptable. And this emotional awareness is a life skill that helps children manage their challenges in healthier ways. Boys also need safe spaces to be vulnerable. Many boys grow up believing that crying or expressing fear is a sign of weakness. But vulnerability is actually a sign of emotional maturity. When boys feel emotionally safe at home, they grow into men who are better able to communicate openly, build healthy relationships, manage stress easily. A boy who can say, "I'm worried about my exam tomorrow," is far more emotionally secure than a boy who silently carries anxiety. And we need to teach our boys empathy too. Empathy does not appear automatically, it develops through everyday conversations and experiences. Parents can nurture empathy by encouraging boys to notice other feelings. For example, asking simple questions like, "How do you think your friend felt when he was left out of the game?" These small conversations actually build the emotional intelligence, and emotionally intelligent boys grow into respectful and compassionate men. Finally, boys benefit greatly from having emotionally healthy role models. Children learn more from what they observe than from what they are told. When boys see fathers or male role models who apologize when they make mistakes, express affection openly, and talk about their feelings, they learn that strength and sensitivity can exist together. And that is one of the most valuable lessons we can offer them. Ultimately, emotionally healthy parenting is not about raising strong girls or tough boys. It's about raising emotionally whole human beings. Strong daughters need confidence, voice, and self worth, whereas emotionally secure sons need emotional safety, empathy, and self awareness. But if we think about it carefully, every child needs all these qualities. Only then they will have the emotional balance which is required for the families, so that both strength and compassion can grow together and the family can be emotionally happy and strong. So, before we close today's episode, I want to leave you with one small thought. Children do not learn emotional strength from our advice alone. They learn it from emotional atmosphere at our houses. When daughters feel safe to speak their minds, and sons feel safe to express their emotions. We are not just raising strong children, we are raising emotionally secure human beings who will carry the strength into every relationship in their lives. If this episode resonated with you, do share it with another parent who might benefit from this conversation. And I will see you in the next episode of Simplified Parenting with Suhasini. Take care till then. Bye bye.